There once was a little snail, and when she was younger, she dreamed about growing up to be a princess. But as she got older, she realized she had to think of other careers. So she went on a journey to get advice. And she came across a duck. And she said, "Mr. Duck, I'm thinking of what I should be when I grow up. Do you have any advice?" And the duck said, "I spend my day swimming and flying, and that's what I'm good at. My advice is to think about what you do well." And the snail said thank you and went on her way. And she came across a fox, and she asked the fox for advice. And the fox said, "People think foxes are sly because they escape when they're being chased. And when we were growing up, we'd play chasing games all the time. We'd go into new holes, through different tunnels, around trees, and hide in grass. And we always knew that somebody could block one exit, so we had an alternate route. My advice is always be open to exploring new things and new paths." And the snail said thank you and went on her way. And she came across a seal. And she asked the seal for advice. And the seal said, "A seal's life can be very difficult. It can be extremely hard to find food, and often we have to travel very, very far. And we have to learn to swim strong and fast to get away from the killer whales and sharks that want to eat us. And we learned this from our parents and the members of our pod. My advice is to work hard and develop the skills you need." And the snail said thank you very much and continued on her journey. And as she walked, she saw an island, and she thought, "Oh, maybe there's a hint for what I should be when I grow up on the island." So she got in a boat and went across the water to the island. She got out on shore and she saw a starfish. And she asked the starfish for advice. And the starfish said, "Starfish always stand out. They catch people's eye. And when I was growing up, my Uncle Louie caught my eye. He was smart and successful and happy and kind. I wanted to be just like Uncle Louie when I grew up. So my advice is to look for role models that you can learn from." And the snail said thank you very much and decided to sail back to the mainland. So she got in another boat, and it was crossing the water. And she walked around that boat and saw that it had a box. And she looked around the boat some more, and she saw that it had another box. She got excited again and thought that maybe there's a hint for what to be when she grows up in the boxes. So she opened them, and she saw a heart. She didn't know what it meant, so she asked the captain. And the captain said, "Well, that means that as a career, you should do something you love. And not only should you do something you love, but you should love what you do."